The discovery that changed everything. The silence of deep space was broken by a single electronic pulse. In the vast observation chamber of the Galactic Survey Station Epsilon, hundreds of monitoring screens displayed the endless darkness between stars. Most showed nothing but empty void, exactly as expected. But on screen 247 something was different. Something impossible. Survey Officer Kalen stared at the display, his three eyes blinking in disbelief. The data streaming across his terminal made no sense. He checked the systems twice, then three times. The equipment was functioning perfectly. The readings were real. His hands trembled as he reached for the emergency communication panel. Within minutes, Commander Vex arrived at the observation deck. She was a Thalorian, a species known throughout the galaxy for their brilliant scientific minds and careful logic. Her silver skin reflected the glow of the monitors as she approached Kalen's station. She had been analyzing data for 40 years and nothing surprised her anymore. Or so she thought. Kalen stood quickly, his voice shaking with excitement and fear. "Commander, you need to see this. Sector 7, grid reference 489 Alpha. I found something in the uncharted zone." Vex moved closer to the screen, her expression calm but curious. The uncharted zone was one of the last unexplored regions in the galaxy. For thousands of years, automated probes had mapped nearly everything. Stars, planets, asteroids, and empty darkness. Only a few small areas remained mysterious, mostly because they held nothing of interest. "Show me," Vex said quietly. Kalen pressed several controls and the main display changed. A yellow star appeared, surrounded by multiple planets. Vex studied the image carefully. At first it looked ordinary. A standard star system with nothing special about it. But then Kalen highlighted the third planet from the sun and everything changed. The data began scrolling rapidly across the screen. Atmosphere composition, oxygen and nitrogen. Surface temperature, moderate and stable. Liquid water coverage, 71%. Magnetic field, strong and protective. And then the readings that made Vex's heart stop beating for a moment. Artificial satellites detected. Thousands of them. Electronic signals across multiple frequencies. Radio waves, microwave transmissions, digital data streams. Signs of industrial activity. Complex transportation networks. Urban centers with massive energy consumption. And most shocking of all, signs of nuclear technology. Vex stepped backward, her mind racing. "This is impossible," she whispered. "This region was surveyed 3,000 years ago. There was nothing here. Nothing." Kalen nodded rapidly. "I know, Commander. I checked the historical records 5 times. The old surveys showed this system existed, but the third planet was listed as barren. No life. No atmosphere. Nothing but rock and ice." Vex leaned closer to the screen, studying every detail. Then something else appeared in the data stream. Genetic markers detected in atmospheric samples collected by our deep space probe. The computer analyzed the markers and displayed the results. Vex read the words 3 times before she could believe them. Species classification humanoid. Genetic similarity to known human populations, 99.7%. Commander Vex felt her legs weaken. She grabbed the edge of the console to steady herself. She had studied ancient history. She knew the legends. 12,000 years ago, humans had traveled across the galaxy. They had built colonies on dozens of worlds. They had helped other species develop technology and medicine. They had formed the early alliances that became the Galactic Council. And then, suddenly they had vanished. Their home world was lost. Their origin became a myth. Most modern scholars believed humans had evolved on one of the colony worlds, not on some distant planet that no one could find. But now here was the evidence. The lost home world was real. And it was not empty. Kalen spoke quietly. "Commander, what do we do? This changes everything." Vex straightened her posture and took a deep breath. "We report this to High Command immediately. This is beyond our authority. The Council must decide what happens next." 2 hours later, Commander Vex stood in the central chamber of Galactic High Command. The room was enormous, with curved walls covered in holographic displays. 50 of the most powerful leaders in the galaxy were present, either in person or through quantum communication links. The tension in the room was overwhelming. Chancellor Orin, leader of the Galactic Council, sat at the center of the chamber. He was a Velker, a species known for wisdom and patience. His long face showed deep concern as he studied the data Vex had presented. "You are certain of these findings?" Orin asked, his voice echoing through the chamber. Vex nodded firmly. "Absolutely certain, Chancellor. We have confirmed the data through multiple independent scans. The planet is inhabited by an advanced technological civilization. The genetic markers match known human populations exactly. There is no doubt. This is the lost home world of humanity. The chamber erupted in shocked voices. Some leaders stood from their seats. Others spoke rapidly in their native languages. Translation systems struggled to keep up with the chaos. For thousands of years, humans had been part of galactic society, living on colony worlds scattered across space. But their origin had been a mystery. Now that mystery was solved, and the answer was terrifying. General Corvin, a military commander from the warrior species called the Drax, spoke loudly over the noise. How did they survive? How did they rebuild? And most importantly, why did they develop nuclear weapons? Such technology is forbidden by galactic law. Vex responded carefully. We believe they had no contact with galactic civilization. They rebuilt their society alone without any guidance or knowledge of our laws. They rediscovered technology independently. Another council member, a scientist named Dr. Phylan, asked the question everyone was thinking. Are they dangerous? Should we be afraid? Vex paused before answering. We do not know their intentions. But we know they are resourceful, intelligent, and capable of rapid advancement. In just 200 years, they went from basic industrial society to space exploration. That speed is unprecedented. Chancellor Oren raised his hand, calling for silence. The room gradually quieted. We cannot ignore this discovery. We cannot pretend these humans do not exist. We must make contact. We must learn who they are and what they want. And we must decide if they can join the galactic community or if they pose a threat we cannot accept. A long debate followed. Some argued for immediate military observation. Others demanded peaceful communication. A few suggested leaving Earth alone entirely, letting humans develop without interference. But eventually a decision was reached. Chancellor Oren announced the verdict. We will send a first contact mission. We will approach peacefully. We will offer friendship and knowledge. But we will also be prepared for any outcome. The mission will be led by Fleet Commander Zareth. He has more experience with unknown species than anyone in our fleet. The chamber fell silent. Everyone knew Zareth's reputation. He was fair but cautious. He had conducted 37 first contact missions without a single failure. If anyone could meet these humans successfully, it was him. Fleet Commander Zareth received his orders within the hour. He stood in the preparation bay of the diplomatic vessel Unity's Voice, the most advanced first contact ship ever built. The ship carried powerful scanners, universal translators, defensive shields, and a crew of specialists from 20 different species. Zareth was a Korthan, tall and strong, with dark blue skin and eyes that saw beyond the visible spectrum. He had seen many strange things in his long career, but this mission felt different. This time they were not meeting a new species. They were meeting a species that should have been part of the galaxy all along. His second officer, Lieutenant Mira, approached him quietly. She was human herself, born on one of the distant colony worlds. Her ancestors had left Earth 12,000 years ago, and her people had no memory of the original home world. Commander, Mira said softly, I do not know how to feel about this. All my life I wondered where humans came from. Now I will see it with my own eyes. Zareth placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We will approach carefully. We will show respect. And we will learn the truth together. The crew assembled quickly. Scientists, linguists, cultural experts, and security officers took their positions. The ship's engines powered up, glowing with blue energy. The mission parameters were clear. Travel to Earth. Observe without interference. Attempt peaceful communication. Assess the situation. And report back to the Council. As the Unity's Voice left the station and jumped into faster-than-light travel, Zareth stood on the bridge, watching the stars streak past. He felt excitement and worry mixed together. Somewhere ahead, on a blue planet orbiting a yellow star, millions of humans lived their lives, completely unaware that the galaxy was coming to meet them. The journey would take 8 days. During that time, the crew studied everything they could about ancient humans. The records were incomplete and often contradictory. Some described humans as peaceful explorers who helped everyone they met. Others told stories of terrible wars and fierce warriors who never surrendered. Some files mentioned incredible acts of kindness. Others warned of unpredictable emotions and dangerous creativity. One thing was clear in every record. Humans were never boring. They never did what was expected. They surprised everyone for better or worse. Lieutenant Mira spent hours reading the old files, searching for clues about her ancestors. She found stories that made her proud and others that made her sad. But mostly she found questions. Why did ancient humans leave Earth? Where did they go? And why did they never return? On the sixth day of the journey, the ship's sensors detected the edge of Earth's solar system. Zareth ordered the crew to slow down and approach carefully. They entered the system quietly, scanning everything they could. What they found shocked them all. The tactical officer spoke with disbelief in his voice. "Commander, I am detecting thousands of artificial objects in orbit around the third planet. Satellites, space stations, debris fields. They have built an entire network around their world." Zareth leaned forward in his command chair. "How long have these humans been spacefaring?" The computer calculated quickly. First successful space flight approximately 120 years ago. The bridge went silent. 120 years. In just over a century, humans had gone from their first rocket to building a complex orbital infrastructure. Most species took 1,000 years to achieve the same progress. Lieutenant Mira whispered, almost to herself. "What kind of people are they now?" Zareth did not answer. He simply watched the blue planet growing larger on the main screen. Somewhere down there, humans were living, working, laughing, and dreaming. They did not know they were being watched. They did not know their lost cousins had returned. But they were about to find out. First contact and the truth revealed. The Unity's voice moved slowly through Earth's solar system, its advanced engines barely making a sound in the vacuum of space. Fleet Commander Zareth sat in his command chair, watching the blue planet grow larger on the main display. Every sensor on the ship was active, gathering information about this mysterious world and the humans who lived there. The ship maintained a safe distance, observing quietly from the outer edge of the system. Zareth wanted to learn as much as possible before making direct contact. It was standard procedure for first contact missions. Watch, analyze, understand, and only then reveal yourself. But humans had different plans. Without warning, every alarm on the bridge began flashing red. The tactical officer jumped from his seat, his voice sharp with surprise. "Commander, we have been detected. Multiple targeting systems just locked onto our position." Zareth's eyes widened. "That is impossible. Our stealth technology is the best in the galaxy. No primitive civilization should be able to see us." The communications officer interrupted. "Sir, we are receiving a transmission. It is coming from Earth's surface. They are using basic radio frequencies, but the message is clear and direct." "Put it through," Zareth ordered. A voice filled the bridge, speaking in one of Earth's primary languages. The universal translator converted it instantly. "Attention, unidentified vessel. This is Earth Space Command. We have tracked your approach for the past 6 hours. Please identify yourself and state your intentions. You have 3 minutes to respond before defensive measures are activated." The entire crew stared at each other in shock. Lieutenant Mira spoke first, her voice filled with amazement. "They tracked us for 6 hours? How is that possible?" The science officer checked his instruments rapidly. "Commander, I believe they detected our gravitational signature. Our ship creates a small distortion in spacetime when we move. Most species cannot measure such subtle effects, but apparently these humans can." Zareth felt a mixture of respect and concern. These humans were more advanced than anyone had expected. He activated the communication system and spoke carefully. "Earth Space Command, this is Fleet Commander Zareth of the Galactic Council Ship Unity's voice. We come in peace. We wish to communicate with the leaders of your world. We mean you no harm." There was a brief pause. Then the human voice returned, sounding more relaxed but still cautious. "Acknowledged, Commander Zareth. Your message has been forwarded to our planetary leadership. Please hold your current position. We are preparing a diplomatic response. It may take some time. Our people have never spoken to visitors from another world before." Zareth felt relief wash over him. The humans were responding calmly and professionally. That was a good sign. "Understood. We will wait." The communication ended. Zareth looked at his crew and saw the same thought reflected in their faces. These humans were nothing like the primitive species they had expected. They had detected an invisible ship, responded without panic, and immediately began diplomatic procedures. That level of organization and discipline was remarkable. Lieutenant Mira walked over to Zareth's command chair. "Sir, permission to speak freely?" "Granted." Mira chose her words carefully. "I have been thinking about the records we studied. Ancient humans left Earth 12,000 years ago and colonized other worlds. But these humans have no memory of that. They believe they are alone in the universe. When we reveal the truth, when we tell them that millions of humans already live across the galaxy, it will change everything they believe about themselves." Zareth nodded slowly. "You are correct. This will be the most significant moment in their entire history. We must handle it carefully." 2 hours passed. The Unity's voice remained in position, waiting patiently. The crew monitored Earth's communications networks, listening to the conversations happening across the planet. The translation computers worked constantly, converting dozens of languages into formats the crew could understand. What they heard was fascinating. News of the alien ship had spread across Earth within minutes. Humans everywhere were talking about it, sharing theories, expressing excitement and fear. But there was no mass panic. No violence. No breakdown of order. Instead, governments were coordinating responses, scientists were preparing questions, and ordinary people were simply curious. The communications officer spoke again. "Commander, we are receiving another transmission from Earth. This one is a video signal. They want us to see them." "Show me," Zareth said. The main screen changed. A room appeared, clearly located somewhere on Earth's surface. The walls were simple but clean. Flags from different nations hung behind a long table. And sitting at that table were 5 humans, dressed in formal clothing, looking directly at the camera with serious but calm expressions. One of them, a woman with dark hair and intelligent eyes, spoke first. "Greetings, Commander Zareth and the crew of the Unity's voice. I am Dr. Sarah Chin, representing the United Earth Council. We have gathered representatives from our world's major nations to speak with you. We understand you claim to come in peace. We want to believe you. But we also need to understand who you are and why you have come to our world." Zareth stood from his command chair, straightening his uniform. He gestured for the video system to transmit his image back to Earth. "Dr. Chin, I am honored to meet you. I represent the Galactic Council, an alliance of 800 different species spanning thousands of worlds. We have come because we discovered your planet during a routine survey. What we found surprised us greatly." Another human at the table spoke. He was older, with gray hair and a strong voice. "I am Ambassador Marcus Webb. Commander, you said you were surprised. What did you expect to find?" Zareth paused, knowing his next words would change human history forever. "Ambassador Webb, Dr. Chin, and leaders of Earth. What I am about to tell you will sound impossible, but it is the truth. 12,000 years ago, humans from this very planet traveled into space. They built ships. They crossed the galaxy. They established colonies on 47 different worlds. They helped other species. They formed alliances. They became one of the most important civilizations in galactic history." The humans at the table stared silently. Dr. Chen's expression showed confusion. "Commander, that cannot be true. Our archaeological records only go back about 10,000 years. Our earliest civilizations began just 6,000 years ago. We have no evidence of space travel in our ancient past." Zareth nodded gently. "We believe something catastrophic happened on Earth 12,000 years ago. Perhaps a natural disaster. Perhaps a disease. Something that destroyed your advanced civilization and forced the survivors to start over. The humans who had left Earth lost contact with their home world. Over thousands of years, the location of Earth was forgotten. It became a legend. A mystery. Until 3 days ago when we finally found you." Ambassador Webb leaned forward, his voice skeptical but intrigued. "If what you say is true, then where are these other humans? The ones who left Earth?" Zareth smiled softly. "They are everywhere, Ambassador. Human colonies exist across the galaxy. Millions of humans live on distant worlds, working alongside hundreds of other species. They are scientists, engineers, artists, teachers, and explorers. They are part of the Galactic Council. They have been for thousands of years." Dr. Chen's eyes filled with tears. She tried to speak but could not find words. Finally she whispered, "We are not alone. We were never alone." "No," Zareth said gently. "You were never alone. And now you have the chance to reunite with your cousins. To join the larger human family. To become part of the galactic community." Another human at the table, a military officer, spoke carefully. "Commander, this is overwhelming news. We need time to process this information. But we also have questions. Many questions. Would you be willing to send representatives to Earth's surface? To meet with us in person? To show us proof of what you claim?" Zareth considered the request. It was unusual to send personnel to a planet's surface during first contact. Standard procedure required multiple meetings in neutral space first. But these were not ordinary circumstances. These humans deserved to see the truth with their own eyes. "Ambassador Webb, Dr. Chin, we accept your invitation. We will send a small diplomatic team to your planet. However, I must ask for your patience and understanding. Some members of my crew have physical forms that may seem unusual to you. We come from different worlds with different environments. I hope you can look past our appearances and see our peaceful intentions." Dr. Chen wiped her eyes and smiled. Commander, if what you say is true, then we have been imagining this moment for generations. We have dreamed of meeting others among the stars. We have written stories, made films, and wondered endlessly about life beyond Earth. Whatever you look like, we will welcome you with open minds and open hearts. 12 hours later, a small shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere. Zareth stood at the front of the passenger compartment, accompanied by Lieutenant Mira and 4 other crew members representing different species. They had chosen individuals with friendly appearances, avoiding anyone who might frighten humans unintentionally. As the shuttle broke through the clouds, Zareth saw Earth's surface for the first time. Vast oceans, green continents, white ice caps, and thousands of lights marking human cities. It was beautiful. It was home. Not his home, but the home of billions of humans across the galaxy. The place where humanity began. The shuttle landed in a secure facility surrounded by military personnel and scientific observers. As the doors opened, Zareth stepped out onto Earth's soil. The gravity felt comfortable. The air smelled clean and fresh. And standing before him was a crowd of humans, all watching with wide eyes and nervous smiles. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped forward, extending her hand in the human gesture of greeting. Welcome to Earth, Commander Zareth. Welcome home. Zareth took her hand gently, feeling the warmth of human skin. Thank you, Dr. Chen. It is an honor to stand here. Over the next several hours, Zareth and his team were given a tour of human society. They visited research laboratories where scientists studied the stars. They saw hospitals where doctors healed the sick. They walked through schools where children learned about the universe. They met artists, musicians, engineers, and ordinary people just living their lives. Everywhere they went, humans asked questions. Where do we come from? What are other species like? Can we travel to the stars? What is waiting for us out there? The questions were endless, driven by pure curiosity and excitement. Lieutenant Mira found herself surrounded by humans eager to meet someone who shared their genetic heritage. They touched her hand, examined her uniform, and asked about life on the colony worlds. She told them stories about human communities thriving on distant planets, about human children playing under alien suns, about human dreams spreading across the galaxy. One young girl, no more than 10 years old, looked up at Mira with wonder in her eyes. Are they like us? The humans out there? Mira knelt down to the girl's level and smiled warmly. They are exactly like you. They laugh and cry. They love their families. They work hard and dream big. They are human in every way. And now you will get to meet them. The girl grinned widely. I cannot wait. As evening fell, Zareth stood with Dr. Chen and Ambassador Webb on a balcony overlooking a major human city. Millions of lights sparkled below them, representing millions of lives, millions of dreams, millions of possibilities. Ambassador Webb spoke thoughtfully. Commander, when you arrived I was afraid. Afraid of what you might want. Afraid of what you might do. But now I understand. You came to bring us home. To show us we belong to something larger. Zareth nodded. Yes, Ambassador. You belong to the galaxy. You always have. We just needed to find you again. Dr. Chen added quietly. What happens next? What do we do now? Zareth turned to face them both. Now we bring representatives from your world to meet the Galactic Council. We introduce you to other species. We share knowledge and technology. We teach you about the galaxy and you teach us about Earth. And slowly, carefully, we integrate your world into the larger community. But, Zareth continued firmly, Earth will always be special. This is where humanity began. This is the place all humans can trace their ancestry. Other species will respect that. They will honor Earth as the home world of one of the galaxy's most important civilizations. Ambassador Webb smiled. One of the most important? That is a bold claim. Zareth returned the smile. Ambassador, ancient humans helped build the foundations of galactic society. They saved species from extinction. They ended wars. They shared their compassion and creativity with everyone they met. Modern humans on the colony worlds continue that legacy. And now, Earth humans will add their own contributions. Your rapid technological advancement, your ability to work together despite differences, your curiosity about the unknown. These are gifts the galaxy needs. Dr. Chen looked up at the night sky, now knowing that among those stars were cousins she had never met. Relatives living lives she could barely imagine. A family spanning light years. Commander, she said softly, thank you for finding us. Thank you for not giving up on Earth. Zareth placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Dr. Chen, humanity never needed finding. You were always here, surviving, building, dreaming. We simply had the privilege of witnessing your strength. In the days that followed, Earth prepared for its new future. Governments formed committees to coordinate with the Galactic Council. Scientists began studying the technology Zaratha's team had shared. Teachers updated their lessons to include the truth about human history. And ordinary people everywhere looked up at the night sky with new understanding. They were not alone. They had never been alone. And now, finally, they were going home to a family they never knew they had. The Unity's voice remained in orbit around Earth for 3 weeks, serving as a bridge between two civilizations. More ships arrived from the Galactic Council, bringing diplomats, scientists, and historians. And most emotionally, they brought humans from the colony worlds, eager to meet their Earth cousins for the first time. When the first reunion happened, when a human from a distant star colony embraced a human from Earth, everyone who witnessed it felt something profound. A circle that had been broken 12,000 years ago was finally complete. Chancellor Orin himself traveled to Earth to meet with its leaders. Standing before the United Earth Council, he spoke words that would be remembered for generations. People of Earth, you have endured isolation, rebuilt from nothing, and reached for the stars on your own. Your strength, creativity, and determination have proven what we always believed. Humanity is extraordinary. And now you take your rightful place among the stars, not as strangers but as family returning home. Dr. Sarah Chin stood before her people and the galaxy, her voice steady and proud. We accept your friendship. We accept our heritage. And we promise to honor both Earth and the galaxy. We will learn from you and we will teach you in return. Together we will build a future worthy of all our children. Fleet Commander Zarath stood with Lieutenant Mira, watching the celebration from the Unity's voice. Humans from Earth and humans from the stars danced together, shared stories and laughed with joy. The galaxy had found its lost children, and the children had found their family. Mira spoke quietly. Sir, do you think they will be all right? Joining galactic society is not easy. Zarath smiled confidently. Lieutenant, I have seen many species join the council. Some struggled. Some failed. But humans? Humans always find a way. Look at what they accomplished alone, without help, without guidance. Imagine what they will do now with 800 species supporting them. He paused, watching the blue planet slowly rotating below. Earth was no longer lost. Humanity was no longer divided. And the galaxy was about to learn what everyone who had ever met a human already knew. When humans set their minds to something, nothing in the universe could stop them. The story of Earth's rediscovery spread across every world in the galaxy. It became a symbol of hope, reunion, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. And on Earth, people looked up at the stars not with wonder about what might be out there, but with excitement about what they would soon become. The age of isolation was over. The age of unity had begun. And humanity, both old and new, stepped forward together into a future filled with infinite possibility.